Yay, I'm back. So anyway, like I was talking about before, um, I've completely repaneled these, and then one last thing I need to talk about. I got a new stand, so I'm kind of getting used to it. Um, I have redone this area back here on the back. I've gotten in some between the time I stopped doing the videos before and now. I've gotten some experience casting and doing resin casts. And so what I thought I would try to do this time, instead of leaving the back end like it was, I would just cast this area back here, and then cut off the back end of this. Oh, I guess it's the cap on the filming miniature that they would use to for the mounting cover, you know. And so it's really it's actually the bottom of a tank turret. If you look here, if you notice, this area right here is actually the hull of a Sherman tank, and it's a 1/72nd scale kit from Hasegawa, and this is actually the bottom of the turret. And I think they were pretty clever in realizing that this part actually locks on by itself with no modification. So they just realized, you can use this as the cap for the mounting point without having to, you know, without having to do any extra engineering. You just use what it gives you. And so I've always thought that was a very clever thing on the part of ILM. But anyway, that's really all I've done so far. And well, I guess in the spirit of my original internet show, I guess, I don't know, I will continue working on this tonight, getting a little bit of work done, and then show you what I've done, and maybe even go over step by step a few things that I've done, and try to so you can see how to do it yourself. I know one person on Starship Modeler mentioned he wants to use this as a guide for creating his own Pro Shop X-Wing. And anyway, like before, it's like I said before in my old videos, this is really applicable to any genre of modeling. Tank modeling, airplane modeling, anything where the kit does not measure up to your expectations. You can use these tips and tricks and things that I've been showing here to in pretty much any other genre of modeling, because it's not really about the sci-fi aspect so much as it is me trying to accurize something, or at least get it as accurate as possible given the materials that I've got, because there's a limit to how much I'm willing to accurize before just outright scratch building it. So anyway, yeah, this is applicable bleh, I can't speak tonight, apparently. This is applicable to just about any other genre of modeling. Okay, let's see. What do I want to do tonight? Well, I think what I want to do is finish up the wings, get this whole subassembly here complete. Then, after I do that, we'll see where I go from there. Okay, I have got some more work done on the wing, or one of the wings anyway. On the bottom here, let me get the other wing real quick and show you. Okay, on the bottom here I have done some, well, obviously I've done a lot of work on here. First of all, this triangular area right here, I filled that in with some rather thick sheet styrene. I got the thickest piece that I could find and glued it in there. It actually turned out to be too thick, which is good because that means I can just sand it down later. I also, on the tip of the wing here, wait a second, I gotta find Mold's X-Wing wing here. It's maybe hard to make out, but if you look right here on the edge of the wing, there is a kind of a winglet, and if you look at the miniature, it actually appears to I don't know, maybe it retracts or something like that. maybe it's an atmospheric maneuvering surface or something that we just never saw in the movie. But anyway, I made that out of some, I think maybe 30 thousandths sheet styrene with a couple of small pieces of strip attached to the top and bottom to kind of give it a, I don't know, a kind of a groove between, a gap between it and the top of the wing. I'm sorry about my camera, it's just not cooperating tonight. And the reason why I sound a little more tired than I did a second ago is because it's been maybe 3 or 4 hours since I started this, so I am a little bit tired, and anyway, I'm drifting off here. Okay, I better hurry up before I completely fall asleep at the camera here. So anyway, what I did here was I took some 10 thousandths sheet styrene and plated over this. Why did I do that instead of just puttying it and sanding it down? Well, because I wanted something, a stable surface in which to glue these conduits to. After I did that, oh, wait a minute. I didn't do that first. I did this. I filled in this area right here with some of that same thick styrene and added a little shelves in there to have to have something for this to glue to and to hold it up. And then I plated over these two areas, and then I created this this element right here. Maybe hard to see, but anyway, I tried as best I could to replicate this this greeble that I saw in the Fine Molds X-Wing. And then once all that was done, I soldered this LED to a couple of leads here, and then I soldered another LED to the leads. This is a white LED, a warm white LED, I might add. I wanted the kind of feel of the incandescent lights that were used on the full-scale set piece, so I used an incandescent colored light to illuminate it. After I finished soldering them, oh, and I put a couple of 90-degree bends in the legs so that it would fit better in there. After I was done soldering it, I took my Dremel and put a cutting bit in there and dremeled out a kind of a little housing area for the light, and it fits. I mean, the piece I used. What did I just drop? Anyway, the piece I used, not the piece, but the bit that I used, is this kind of a round carving bit here. It's about 3 millimeters wide exactly, so it works perfectly for creating these grooved areas. And once I did the groove, I made sure the LED fit, and I also took and ground down the LED to make it into a rectangular shape as opposed to the round shape that it normally is. Anyway, I might have mentioned that I'm out of super glue right now, so I can't really just glue these in. I'll have to just make do with putting them in place. But I also ground down the sides of this green LED right here, and as a result of that, it fits just about perfectly here in the edge of the wing. And anyway, once again, I apologize profusely for my camera's lack of focus. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe this will help. What? I didn't know that. I guess the zoom doesn't work whenever it's recording video. Anyway, I still have to repeat that 3 more times. And being the lazy sot that I am, I'm considering just casting this right here and then super gluing it over and over and over again on the other parts. But of course, you know, it's not the only thing I have to do on this to get the other parts of the wings to fit, to be the same level of detail. It may be hard to see also, but I've also cut in a new panel right here. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to do another one right here as soon as I shut this video off, because I need to have a guide for the other 3 wings. And once I do that, this wing is done, really. I mean, I want to super glue these LEDs in so they don't shift around on me, because this one right here keeps wanting to poke out, and that's not exactly desirable. So I want to do that so that I can also add a lens to the front of it. Well, not a lens. I want to take take some of this microcrystal clear and put a drop of it on the surface of this LED so it appears flush with the edge of the wing. Actually, in The Empire Strikes Back, if you watch the scenes where it has the full scale X-wing, there's a little box constructed around the headlights, which is not visible in the miniature, and I want to keep this as close to the miniature as possible. So I'm going to compromise by putting them in the edges of the wings. Well, that's it for now as far as the construction aspect goes. I just have a little bit left to do, and then I'm done with these wings.